What is the daily habit that we need to implement to maximize our time? Stay tuned to find out. We're continuing to break down our smarter goals and yearly planning, and this session will focus on daily planning. There are 5 daily routines that can help anyone who is trying to get their day organized and redeem the time, so to speak. Because often, what we think may take us minutes to do takes a lot longer, and we may suffer consequences, whether great or small, from not getting done what's needed on a daily basis. Setting up routines helps to alleviate stress because it's repeatable and you can plan the items that are needed in advance so that your mind can focus on the more important items. Set things on autopilot, especially as you take on more and more. Forgetfulness will make you not be prepared on a daily basis, and you may continue to repeat the same mistakes over and over. You risk mental burnout, a kind of burnout for your mind, when we use up all of our brain power to focus on small tasks. A tickler, which has tabs labeled 1 through 31, gives you a divider for each day. We can use this to designate certain days for certain tasks. For example, Sunday could be some people's Sabbath, so it could be for church and resting. Monday through Friday for work. Saturday for another day of rest. Also during the work week, Monday for clearing out your inboxes, Tuesday for clearing out your voicemail, Wednesday for processing customer orders, Thursday for whatever task you have to do. So we designate certain tasks on certain days so that we ensure that they get done. Supplies needed for this video include the following: the day routine instructions sheet and routine sheets. These will help you determine what routines you need for the day and the items that are repeatable so that you can focus on the bigger tasks for the day. Also, a binder with a tickler system that is tabbed for days 1 through 31. So 1 tab for each day. And this allows you to put in documents behind the day's date for that day so that you know all the things you need to process on that day. Also, the daily overview plan sheets. So this shows the priorities that you have for the day and also like a mini schedule, like kind of pulled out from that weekly schedule that we showed on the prior video. And then also it puts puts the items for the day in priority. And then also on the back is the SWOT lessons learned best practice analysis, which of course these can be printed double-sided. I just have printed them single-sided, and these also just for illustrative purposes for the video. And then last but not least, of course, our highlighter system and our pens, yellow, orange, and green highlighters. If you do not have green, which I've been saying, just take a yellow and a blue, combine it to make green, and then a black highlighter, a black pen and a red pen. Step 1, fill in the daily sheet. On the left side, fill in the day and date at the top and your to-do list items in the middle, especially those that may have popped up since making the weekly agenda. In the middle right side, fill in the daily agenda. Include daily routines in this area to keep you on track. I recommend 3 to 5 routines: a morning routine, startup routine, shutdown routine, closeout routine, and an evening or a night routine. Use the day routines instruction sheet to determine each of the 5 routines. There is a priority box at the top, which we'll discuss right now. Step 2, prioritize the to-do list items. Notice the priority number in each box that corresponds to whether tasks are important or urgent, and use these designations to prioritize the to-do list items. So here are steps 1 and 2 completed. That is, fill in the sheet, and prioritize the to-do list items. So we filled in the date, Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. On the left side, we filled out the to-do items, and then on the right, the actual agenda for the day. And then we prioritized the list of to-dos by priority 1, 2, 3, or 4, whether or not they were important and urgent, important and non-urgent, non-important and urgent, and non-important and non-urgent. So the items I have on here: finish the series, which I'm doing right now in this video, review the RFP requests, homework help, PowerPoint completion, speech finalization, book startup, clean out email inbox, library printouts, and unexpected non-urgent requests. You see that I've put a priority 1 through 4 next to each of those. And then also I've filled in the daily agenda, mostly with the routines that I have set up for the day, and then other appointments or scheduled items that I need to go complete for the day as well. Step 3, highlight and mark off completed to-do lists and agenda items. Start by highlighting in yellow the priority 1 items and agenda scheduled items. As the day goes by, highlight completed appointments and tasks in green and canceled rescheduled appointments in orange. So looking at this for today, on the to-do list side, you see several priorities that say number 1, they're highlighted in yellow, and those should be done first. We see that there is one priority item that was done for priority 1 item that was done first, and that was library printouts. I went to the library this morning and did some printing out. But the other one, number 1 on the list, finished series, actually is in progress. So I'm doing that now with this taping of this series. The other one, homework help, that's going to be later on in the day. But then there's been some priority 2 and 3 list items that I've gotten completed, which I did review the RFP request. As far as unexpected non-emergency requests, which are texts or calls, I have had a few of those. Most of them I try to send to voicemail, or I send them a message saying I'll call them back later. But there has been a couple that I had to answer just to make sure everything was okay. So those they're not top on my priority, just to make sure that people are okay, I have answered a couple of those, but those can take you a little bit off track of your priority to-do list. However, we know that we deal with human beings and life happens, and sometimes you do have to answer those calls just to see if it's something that is a true priority, or is it something that you can ask the person, let me call you back later. So, and then getting to the agenda for the day, I did complete the morning routine, startup routine. I went to the library for printouts. I reviewed the RFP this morning. The shutdown routine will be the next routine that is scheduled to be done. And then the closeout routine and nighttime routines are also on the list. Also, you see here in orange that priority 4 item, clean out my email inbox, that's likely not going to get done today. So that's getting pushed to another day. I just highlighted it orange as canceled or rescheduled, but that is definitely not going to get done today. Step 4, make notes in the box below the to-do list if necessary. And this is like a Cornell style, which is very helpful. And also summarize the day. So we had that to do, and then the daily agenda, and then below that is like a notes box. It's set up Cornell style, where you put the summary of whatever item on the left, and then the details on the right. And then you see below that I do have a checkoff box. So for example, the RFP that I review, I put just a note saying awesome project, felt led to be a part. And then below that, I put the checkbox that says put dates and times on calendar, and 3 stars to me. That is my note to self to say that's something that I need to do. At the end of the day, theoretically, though it's not actually the end of the day when I'm filming this video, but at the end of a true day, you put a summary of how that day went. So this would be an example of how it would summarize this day. I would say productive day. Daily video posted. So this video that I'm currently creating should be posted by the end of the day, and I should be started on the next set of videos, which is the hourly and E-Systems videos. So that is theoretically how you would put a period on the end of the day. Step 5, complete the SWOT lesson learned best practice analysis. To assess your day, look back at the to-do list, the daily agenda, the notes, and the summary, and fill in the back page with the SWOT lesson learned best practice information. So SWOT, you see here, it has a little star. If you go down to the bottom of the page, it tells you what that stands for. SWOT, that is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So you fill in one strength from, at least one strength from the day. Next to that, put the lesson learned, and then next to that, put the best practice. One weakness, then a lesson learned next to that, and a best practice next to that, so on and so forth with opportunities and threats. At least one of each. Of course, you can fill in more because the sheet is rather long, but at least one of each. All right, here's an example of the SWOT analysis for the day completed. I just jotted down some quick items to keep in mind. At least one strength, one weakness, one opportunity, and one threat. And as you see, I have multiple opportunities there. And then a lesson learned next to each of those, and a best practice next to each of those. So that is how you fill out the SWOT lesson learned best practice analysis. You will punch holes in the daily sheets, and they will go behind the tab for the day. So today is the 7th. I have just laid them in there just for display purposes, but during an actual day, I would punch holes in them so that they are behind there so that I can just come back to them really quickly. So what are the daily habits we need to implement to maximize our time? We need to plan out and schedule our day. Also plan out daily routines. Planning your day goes a long way in not only relieving stress because you have repeatable systems in place, but also planning helps in redeeming your time. By doing this, you're better able to manage your energy, be your best self, and live your best life.